well, I was genuinely enthused and happy about this movie. I mean, I'm not always the animated movie kind of guy, but this
Right.
movie made me smile.
Oh, good,
With
great.
all the Christmas stories that's been told and retold, what makes Arthur's Christmas different?
I think what's fun about this story is that it deals with the thing that children have always wondered about. Any child with an inquiring mind, and that basically means every child, doesn't it? Wants to know, how does Christmas work? How is it that Santa Claus visits us the same time that he visits? How does it all work? Who's running it?
Right.
And this really pulls back the curtain, shows you how it all works. And it also shows you that this isn't just coming from one sort of magical figure, like a sort of Santa Claus isn't a god. He's an ordinary guy with an ordinary family. Ordinary meaning, they have their problems and they have their troubles and their arguments and rivalries and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
And it shows you all that. And I hope that kids will be sort of as enchanted as I was when I first read it.
So it's kind of like the behind the scenes of Christmas.
It is
or
a
the
little
making
bit,
of
yeah.
making of Christmas.
It is, but it shows it shows the scale of the whole thing. Of course, we all, the whole thing about Christmas is that so many of us are, we tend to, on that one day, that's the day that we're all behind, we're behind four walls, and we're with our loved ones, or if we're lucky, we're with our family, and we don't get to see the whole scale of this is going on all over the world, and it's a very wonderful thing to see the scale of it.
Now, in Arthur's Christmas, a lot of things change. I mean, it's not the traditional sleigh, and you see a lot of things have been modernized. Do you think with the times and with stuff like the economy, does the meaning of Christmas ever change for people?
I don't think Christmas changes. And although, people talk about we are obviously in hard times now, and maybe with the prospect of times getting even harder. But in a way, I sometimes think that actually that makes things like Christmas even more precious than because really Christmas isn't about gifts. It isn't about gadgets, and it's you can do Christmas with not very much. I actually always used to think that my kids were happiest with the cardboard boxes that the gift came in, much more than the gift. In fact, the gift used to make them upset because they usually broke it in half an hour anyway, or it didn't have the batteries, or it wasn't as nice as the one that their brother got, or whatever it is. And they wind up. But you give them a cardboard box, man, there's no end to the possibilities with a cardboard box, good cardboard box.
Right.
Throwing lead-painted toys down chimneys anymore. That space sends you back to Lapland.
And another thing I liked is Steve's character. I mean, while he might have had some misgivings and little issues, I mean, overall he was a good guy.
He is a good guy. He means well. He means it in a. He's sort of clumsy in his way. He's very sort of driven and very focused, and he's all about powering ahead and not really paying attention to the people who get left behind. But in a way, he's trying to do the right thing. He's trying to do it as well as it can be done. He wants it all to work. He's a good guy.
Any similarities to your on-screen character, House?
Not many. I can't really even see House watching this movie, to be honest. But that's part of the fun for me, is to step out of one thing and go to another world, a world, which is also funny and moving and surprising and all those good things, but is totally separate from the thing I've been doing for 7 years now. But that's a real delight to be able to do that.
As we wrap up, speaking of totally separate, your album,
you mean
this album?
You mean this? No, so I just happen to have it.
I know that that you're an English guy, and it's different to have this blues, jazzy sound coming from you. But have you been to New Orleans, and can you say Nolans? Like
I can't. I wouldn't. I'm not going to try and do it now. I'm not going to say Nawlinz now, because I'll get judged, and people go, no, he didn't quite get that right. It's the music I've loved ever since I was a small boy. That city has always spoken to me. Yes, I mean, I have been there and in fact played there. We recorded some of the album there. But that the music of that city has always just raised the hairs on the back of my neck. Ever since I can remember, really, I've loved that music.
You're amazing talent. I appreciate the time.
Well, thank you. Pleasure.
Down, got something